Just so you know, I don't have any arrest warrants for you, okay? However, I am investigating a case, all right, and you are being detained, which means right now you're not free to leave, okay?
This interrogation takes place on May 3rd, 2010, just hours after the incident in which Huguely was named as a suspect. The victim of this tragedy was 22-year-old Yeardley Love, an all-county lacrosse player and student at the University of Virginia. She resided on 14th Street in the University Corner District in a small apartment with her roommate Caitlin Whiteley. Whiteley was not only a close friend to Love, but also the only person in the case who exposed Huguely. On the night of Sunday, May 2nd, Whiteley claimed that she left the apartment at around 10:50 p.m. while Love was asleep in her bedroom. She returned at around 2:15 a.m. on May 3rd, only to find her roommate dead on the bed. She called out for her friend, who accompanied Whiteley back to the apartment, and they dialed 911. When Whiteley checked on Love, she noted that she was positioned, quote, face down in her pillow, and, quote, her hair was all messed up. She also saw blood stains on Love's sheets and pillowcase. Then she noticed that one of Love's eyes was very badly damaged and that there were many cuts to her face. Paramedics arrived at around 2:26 a.m. in hopes of resuscitating her, but it was too late. The medical examiner's autopsy report concluded that Love's cause of death was blunt force injury to her head. By the time that Whiteley was questioned by the Charlottesville police, she had a pretty accurate guess on who it could be. She saw the bruises and recalled Love's history of abuse, after which she immediately turned the police's attention to her ex-boyfriend, George Huguely. But we'll get to why in just a second. So basically, we have a spoiled brat here who was also on the lacrosse team and also a student at the University of Virginia. In freshman year, he met Love, and they were often seen hanging out together with their teammates. They had been dating for more than 2 years by the time that spring 2010 rolled around. But according to most of their friends, it was Huguely's aggressive behavior plus his alcoholism that caused their relationship to be on and off. Right now, he's sitting in this interrogation room under the pretext that he's being charged with assault. He hasn't asked who has filed the charges or anything about the victim whatsoever, so it seems that showing up for an interrogation is just another day for him. But what George doesn't realize yet is that this conversation is about something far, far more serious.
Go out to eat.
Oh, the golf event ended at 5-ish. So we were probably back at, that was probably 7:30 with dinner.
Okay.
And then went home. I drank a few beers. I went to the bar for a little while. I went to Boylan Heights.
Wow, okay.
Then I went over to talk to Yeardley. And
Who's Yeardley?
Yeardley is my former girlfriend.
Okay.
Which this whole thing's about, which I understand. But when I went over to talk to Yeardley, I was like, Yeardley, and she was like already totally freaked out because of what she did this past a few days ago, and we haven't talked since. I was just gonna go talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was already freaking out. You can't come in, you can't come in. And I was like, I'm just trying to talk to you. And she started being getting all really defensive against it, because the week before she came into my apartment and attacked and started striking me, and I was like, all right, you gotta leave. And had my roommate's girlfriend finally be like, all right, you take her out of there because of this. So when I went in to talk to her, because they'd been away, we've been away, when I talked to her, she was already on the defensive edge. And I was like, listen, I'm not here to I'm just here to talk to you. And she got all sat up, her bed's against the wall, if it was in this corner, she was up against the wall, and I was we were sitting there talking, and she started being getting all aggressive after this. And so I was like, all right, like chill out, like, and shook her a little bit. And she started being like freaking out. And I was like, listen, I'm not like here to do anything. I'm here to talk to you about everything that's ensued in the past week. And she was like, and like started like being like, no, like hitting her head, like stop, like she's in the corner, I was sitting on the bed, I was like, stop, like, I was like, we were like, what the hell, like, we were just gonna talk, and like, it was not at all like a good conversation, because that's like, she was already like freaking out with just even seeing me there.
Up until this point, George has been vague. But when he describes that night in Yeardley's apartment, he gives us details of her reaction. A reaction that most people would see as a clear sign that you've overstayed your welcome. Or worse. Anyway, here's his version of what happened.
Okay. What happened next?
What happened next, and she just kept hitting her head against the wall while she was sitting on the bed, and I was like, I grabbed her and I like shook her. I was like, stop, like, we need to, like, and looked at her. I was like, we need to like talk about this. And, like, I mean, I was holding her arms and stuff, but like I never struck her. I never like hit her like in the face or anything. I was just like, we need to talk. And she was so like, oh, I mean, what's the word? Like, you know, like flopping a fish out of the water, like so like all this, all because of what happened last week. And I was like, listen, like, I'm not here to like fight with you or like do anything, like here to talk to you. And like, and she's like, no, like, get away from me, all this, like, and that's what happened. Like, I left, like, she was in her bed. I think her nose was bleeding a little bit, but she was in her, like, when I left, she was like still in her bed, like, and then she may have, at one point she got on the floor, and we were talking. We were like, and she was still like fighting. Actually, no, she went over to her desk, where the desk is, and she was like, you have to leave, 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 like all this stuff. And I was like, all right, like fine, like, but like I want to talk to you after all this. And like I was like a little bit persistent because of the situation. You know, my former girlfriend who something happened last week, you know, and I was like, all right, like, well, so we were like talking over there, and I mean, somehow we ended up, somehow I was resting her on the floor, and I was just like, stop, I just like, and I was holding her, but I never struck her or anything, and I think that might have been when her nose started to bleed. Actually, it was when I was holding her on the floor, being like, listen, like, I'm like, you came and attacked me. Like, I wanted to talk to her about, you know, everything, because I got on like whatever, like text messages like from her and all this stuff, and so that's when I was like holding her, but not like forcefully, and then you know, then I guess that's when her nose might have started to bleed. Was when it rolled like that, like her face on the ground, and her nose started bleeding, and then the conversation, I could tell, was just like, it was not going anywhere and nothing was happening. You know, and I went back home.
Well, let's
You know how in the Miranda rights they say, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law? Yeah, Huguely is literally giving the detectives everything that they need to use against him. The TLDR of his interaction is that he showed up, she freaked out, she banged her head against a wall, he grabbed her, shook her, and he never struck her, but demonstrated it quite well. And the funniest, well, I say that in quotes, funniest lines from this scene are that he, quote, was holding her, and, quote, I think that might have been when her nose started to bleed. Yeah, what he doesn't know is how tragically relevant these very actions are to the real reason he's sitting here.
Let's kind of start from, you keep talking about something that happened last week. What happened last week?
What happened last week?
You said kind of set up the...
Well, yeah, that's why I was going over there to talk to her. Well, yeah, what happened
What happened last week? Let's start there.
last week?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of things happened, but basically, she came over to my apartment
Let me stop you there real quick. How long y'all been dating?
for 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Okay. All right. Now, start with the last week. Did y'all break up last week?
We broke up like a month ago, but it had been like talking and like, hanging out and stuff.
Why'd you break up for?
And because we broke up because she wanted to, but like was because she wasn't really sure about all this because we were both like graduating, and she wants to move to New York and I want to move like to San Francisco. And so she was like, we don't really know. And she was like, sort of unsure about all of this. So we broke, so she was like, sort of like broke it off like slightly over like, a period of time. Like, all right, well, like we shouldn't hang out anymore, but we're still hanging out and everything. And then a week ago, she went down to Carolina and like, I don't know what happened there, but she told me what happened, which was that Wednesday night. She sends me a text message like, oh, I'm so glad, like I'm so glad like I fucked so-and-so, And so I didn't even respond to that. I was like, whatever. Like
She said she fucked somebody? Is that what you just said?
Hooked up, fucked, like same thing. So I didn't even respond to that. Those were like text messages. And so I was like, Brian, like to my roommate, like, look at this, like this is fucked up, and didn't even respond. So went to the bar, like saw her at the bar actually, and she's like all like, like fucked up. So I was talking to a buddy, and we were and like she comes over. It was like my buddy, like didn't even bother. And then I'm at home on my sofa, and she comes in the door like this. Two of them with the same body as mine, the same body that was there earlier, and two girls that were visiting, deciding if they wanted to come here to school or not. And she walks in the door, opens the door, and comes over and just starts hitting me in the face. And I like got up and I was like, stop, like get off of me, like leave me alone, like you can't like do this, you can't just like start doing this, like. And then I had basically had my roommate, girlfriend, who is friends with my girlfriend. I was like, Liz, like calling from her from the kitchen, like get her out of here. Like never like touched her, never struck her. I was just like, listen, like you have to like stop hitting me. And she wouldn't stop, and she kept coming. So that happened. So I was going over there to talk to her last night on Sunday, and that was the reason why I was going over there to talk to her. And I never like hit her, never struck her, and nothing happened.
All right. So you go over there, knock on the door.
I'm going to do my Dr. Evil here. Right. So here's what really happened based on the testimony of her roommate, Whiteley, and a bunch of their friends. On February 27th, 2010, nearly 2 months before the incident, Love was seen struggling to free herself from Huguely in his bedroom. His arms were wrapped around her neck so tightly that she was being choked. Several witnesses saw Love run out of his apartment. And when she finally came back, Whiteley claimed that she was, quote, hysterical and, quote, was crying and visibly shaken and upset. Whiteley had never seen Love like that before and thought that this would be the end of the relationship for good. Huguely wrote Love a letter apologizing for the way he treated her on February 27, 2010. He explicitly wrote that he used, quote, physical force to keep her in his room. He also attributed this rage episode to his alcoholic nature by stating that, quote, I'm scared to know that I can get that drunk to that point where I cannot control the way I behave or act. So it's clear that the pattern of aggression starts with getting super drunk. But over time, his drunken actions went from minor punches and bruises to absolute fatality.
Her front door was open. Her room door was closed. I knocked, she heard me open the door and went in.
All right. Went in where?
To her room.
All right, straight to her bedroom?
Straight to her bedroom, yeah. I mean,
how'd you get through the door?
Her door or the front door?
Her door.
Actually, it might have been locked.
It was.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Just be honest with me.
It was locked, yeah. Because I think I put a hole.
Yeah. You punched a hole through the door?
Pretty sure, actually, now. Yeah, that you said that, yeah.
All right. Why'd you do that?
Because I won't talk to her because she's been sending me like emails.
Was she telling you to leave or?
Well, I guess, yeah, once I was in her room, she was like very like, or like, not like, I don't want to talk to you, like all this stuff. Like,
What was she wearing?
What was she wearing? I think she was in her bed. She was in her underwear and t-shirt.
Okay. All right, so you get in there, she's in her. Okay, I'm not saying you do that. I'm just trying to picture all
I
of it,
understand,
okay?
but like.
All right, so she's in her bed, t-shirt and underwear, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Light on, light off?
Light off. I'm pretty sure she was like, this was like around, probably I want to say like 12:45-ish.
Okay.
So she was like either asleep or like, doing something. And so I went in there to talk to her. And she was very like, very on edge, like, I don't want to talk,
Okay.
I was like, listen, like, what you pulled last week was outrageous. Like, I just want to talk to you.
Why'd you push into it?
Because I want to talk to her.
All right, well, continue on. That's fine, continue on. So you're talking to her and she doesn't want to talk to you?
Not really. I mean, and we talked though. Like, there was parts where we were talking and then like.
You know what you're talking about?
I mean, about so many different things.
Okay. Like what?
Like what she did last week. Like went to like Carolina, how she attacked me. Like she went to Carolina and hooked up with someone Sunday when we were still trying to figure out things. Came over, attacked me on Tuesday. And I'm just sitting like, and I was over there like to talk. Like I was like, this is outrageous. Like I mean, and because I was trying to make everything better, and then like, and then all this happens, and then she comes in and attacks me, and I'm like, and to the point where my roommate's girlfriend has to like take her out of there.
Okay.
So
let's go back to you're in her room tonight.
Yeah, last night.
Night.
Yeah, and so she's like in the corner. If her bed's like, if her bed would push all the way back, like in the corner, like, and I'm pretty sure that she was very defensive because she knew like how upset I was, because I've told her like through emails like how upset I was like about what she did and about Tuesday night for like coming in and starting to strike me. And so I was like, and I sat on the edge of it. I was like, listen, like I want to talk to you. Like what you did was bullshit. Like that's not like okay. Like,
so you're pretty upset, pretty angry.
Yeah, I was more like emotional than I would say angry.
Okay. You're hurting.
And I was just like, and she's like, not like, she's like, sort of pushing everything that she did to the back burner and like talking about like trying to like put everything that she did like wasn't important. And like, we talked and she like kept getting like, and then she kept saying things like, oh, well, like, what she was saying stuff like, well, like, I don't trust you, like, or stuff like that. And I was, and it it kept going to the point where I was like, listen, like, we have to figure, like, out what's going on. And she was like, I'm not talking to you. And then she, like, pushed me, like, get out of here. Like, go. And I was like, no. And, like, I was like, be like, we have to talk. Like, so, like, get, like.
When you're doing that, what are you holding on her?
On her arms.
On her arms, like maybe up here?
Like shoulders, yeah.
Shoulders.
Like yeah, like never like never like, you know, I mean, if I could like show you.
No, I'm sorry.
I know, but like,
up her arms.
Like, come on, like, you know, and that's when she was like wiggle and like get away and like, you know, like hide get in the corner, like really like aggressive, like defensively almost. And then we like wrestled on the ground the same way. Her nose started bleeding, and then she ended. I think she was back in bed, and I left. I was like, oh, this is not going anywhere.
How'd she get back in bed?
We were like wrestling, and we stood up, and I tossed her. I pushed her onto the bed. I was like, go to bed. Like, I'll talk to you later. I'm like, I didn't like throw her, but like we were like standing up at this point after we were wrestling on the ground. She had like a bloody nose. Mm-hmm. And I was like, go to bed.
Okay. And you kind of tossed her on the bed and you left?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go back and check on her at any point?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you touch her neck area at all? Did you choke her at one point?
I may have grabbed her a little bit by the neck when we were like, but I never like strangled her.
Okay.
But I mean, during the whole like commotion, you know, like I might have grabbed her neck, but I never was like strangling her.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go check on something really quick.
I may have grabbed her neck, but I never was like strangling her. That's not only quote-unquote funny, but his admission to choking her. He agreed to grabbing her neck, and the autopsy report showed marks around her neck. He has also claimed that he punched a hole in the wall, which shows how he forcibly entered her room. Ironically, the investigators later revealed that the door was unlocked. He just happened to put a hole in the wall out of sheer anger.
Why do you think is that time? Just
because, you know, I went to dinner around 7:30, I think.
Okay.
And went home for a little while, then went to the bar for a little bit. So I mean, that's just my
kind of estimate, maybe.
You know, I mean, okay. I'm not.
Did you call her and let her know you were coming, or text her, or?
No, because she said she lost her phone the night that she came over to my apartment. She says it's my apartment, but it's not. So she doesn't have a phone. Okay. So I did not call her or text her.
How long do you think you were at her apartment when you were there?
Like between, like around like 8 minutes. I mean, like,
not long.
I mean, no, not 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Was anybody else there? Just the two of you?
No, her roommates weren't there actually.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. When you left her apartment, did you take anything with you?
No.
Nothing at all.
She was in her bed.
All right. Because I think her laptop is missing, I guess. Did you grab it for any reason?
Yeah, I did actually.
You did? Okay. Is it at your apartment?
Yeah, somewhere in my apartment. I can give it to her.
Why'd you grab her laptop?
Because I was so pissed that she wouldn't talk to me. I was like, I don't know. I like took it almost as like collateral, I guess. I don't know. It's not reasonable logic, but
right. Okay.
I don't know.
Did you take anything else besides the laptop? No. Nothing?
No.
Okay.
I mean.
All right. So when you left out of there, I mean, you saw that she was bleeding on her nose. Did you?
I was so pissed that she wouldn't talk to me. I was like, I don't know. I took it almost as a collateral, I guess. This is, how do they say, absolute cinema. Oh my God, you can't make this up. This is textbook behavior for a murderer to take any personal belongings from the victim, like a phone, laptop, or anything else that can be used to incriminate the person. Of course, he didn't take it as collateral. He took it because there was something in that laptop which had to be kept hidden from the world. The funny thing is that Huguely thought that he could hide what's on her laptop by stealing it, when in reality the really guilty stuff wasn't on the laptop at all. It was all online.
Try to call rescue or anything, make sure she's alright?
No, I did not.
Why?
I didn't think it was like, I didn't think that she was like in need of like going to the emergency room. She just got,
What do you think that?
I don't know.
Did you say when you were, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you were shaking her head was hitting the wall?
Well, that was in the beginning. That was initially when I walked in. Like she was like up in the corner, like get out of here, like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
at any time when you were shaking her, did her head bang the wall? Did you shake her into the wall? I know you already said you didn't punch her and stuff.
I wasn't like throwing her into the wall. We were sitting on her bed, which is against the wall, and I was and I was you're maybe I wasn't hitting her against the wall, but when she's sitting there in the corner of if it were like this, and I'm you're and I was what the fuck was that about? That's such bullshit that you do that. Possibly. I was it's such a bullshit move. Everyone hearing, what are you doing? Like that.
Okay. She has a pretty good knot on her head. That's why I'm asking how you can explain how that would have happened.
I don't even know when a knot.
Mm-hmm. On the side of her head, she's been hit pretty good right there. So I'm just trying to figure out, did you hit her with something?
No.
I
never touched her or struck her or anything.
Well, you touched her. You had your hands on her.
I said never struck her.
Okay.
Never at all.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why she's got a black eye and why she's got a big lump right there.
I don't know.
You never hit her.
I don't know.
Is that what you're saying? You never.
Yeah, I don't know how.
With anything.
So she's got them.
So okay. All right. No, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So you. I'm gonna go through this one more time. Make sure we're on the same page. So you're pretty pissed at her from a week ago for sending you text messages. Do you have those text messages where she says she, as you put it, fucked somebody?
I actually might have those. Yeah.
All right. You got your phone with you?
Yeah.
And let's pull it out real quick. Let's see if we can see those.
This is.
We didn't say it.
They were I guess what you call one of these, which is an ongoing conversation, ongoing instant message, and it's gone.
Okay. I'll leave that one. Then we'll leave that right in front of her. All right. So you're pretty
sure
pissed.
emails that say she hooked up with someone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not lying about that.
Do you have a home computer or laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that where all the emails are? Can you get to them on that?
Actually, they're deleted off here. I can get to them though.
Okay. All right. That's fine right now. So last week, y'all kind of broke up a while back. It's kind of been, you've still been talking. Last week, she gets pissed. You get pissed because she sends you a text. So last night, you go over there wanting to talk. Let's talk about how you entered. Yeah.
Yeah,
because to have put your fist through the door.
No, it's actually my leg. I'm pretty sure.
Your leg?
Because that's why my leg's like this.
Yeah, you're right. That was your leg.
Yeah.
How'd you get all the bruising on your hand then?
This is all from lacrosse. This is all.
That's pretty fresh right there. Looks.
This is all from my lacrosse game on Saturday.
On
I mean, I wear
Saturday.
my arm. You can see where my arm pads are.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, my gloves right here, and that's
Even right there, I thought you wore those padded gloves.
this is all.
Lacrosse.
This is all the difference. This is all from lacrosse. 100%. This is where my arm pads are, and my glove goes to here. This is all tanner because that's where it gets sun compared to where my legs, like the difference in color. And that's, I got whacked here. I remember 100% got whacked during the game when I was trying to kill the clock.
Mm-hmm. When you had her and you're shaking, did she scratch you anywhere?
No.
No. She's a little girl. She's tiny.
Yeah, she's not. No, she didn't
She didn't
scratch
try to
her.
hit you or anything like that.
No.
Okay. So you kick in the door.
Yeah, that's how I entered. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I stuck my hand through and unlocked it and went in there, and everything else is for you.
All right. What was she saying while you're kicking the door? I mean, did you just go straight and kick, or did you knock first?
No, I knocked first. I was like, "Yeardley, let me in." And she was like, and I think she was like, she said something that was. I remember that was like, I just don't remember exactly what it was, but I just remember saying something or like whispering some shit or like, I don't know. And I was like, all right, well, like, she knew because I sent her emails. I've sent her like 6 emails recently that was like, we need to talk. I'm coming over to talk to you. And like, and she didn't actually didn't respond to those past 2 ones when I told her, and she said something like fuck you, I'm not talking to you, like something along those lines.
All right. How much did you have to drink tonight? Last night?
I had
The emails and text messages incriminate him more than his story. According to the court documents, on April 30th, 2010, he emailed her stating, quote, "That is so fucked up on so many levels. I should have killed you. I'm still in utter disbelief at everything that has happened recently and how you handle this." This email came after his apology letter and some noticeably heated arguments. If we could go back in time and see this trend, we could have sworn that Love was in danger. But unfortunately, the damage was done at this point.
Probably 4 or 5 beers on the golf course.
Mm-hmm. And that was earlier in the day, though, right?
That was early in the day. And I had 2 glasses of wine at dinner, and then like 3 more beers afterwards, and like 3 more beers. Afterwards, I probably after dinner I probably had like 5 beers combined.
Okay. Did you smoke any weed?
No.
Any other drugs?
Nothing. No.
What were you wearing?
I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
That?
No.
According to the testimonies of his teammates, Huguely had been drinking heavily the majority of the day of May 2nd. He was noticeably intoxicated at a reception of his golf tournament event. The dinner event with his father was actually cut short because of Huguely's drunken behavior. One of his teammates even claimed that he urinated in public outside of the restaurant. So, we don't think that 5 beers is strong enough to get you to urinate publicly, but just like the rest of his story, it's all crap.
The dumpster, maybe.
So you threw her computer in the dumpster?
Yeah, the one right by 14th Street.
Okay.
The one, no, not the one right by 14th Street. It is the one right by the point.
By the point?
There's an apartment
Called the point, yeah.
And on the way home, I just tossed it in there. Walked over there, tossed it in there, and walked home.
Okay.
That's where the computer is.
All right. Did you toss anything else in there that we need to know about?
No.
Okay. So what do you do once you get home?
I just went to bed.
Anybody else home?
No.
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 And you just went to bed and then we show
I
up?
went to bed and showed up.
Did you take a shower or anything like that?
No.
No? Okay.
No, nothing.
And did you happen to look at the clock before you lay down?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what time. I mean, I wasn't paying the time,
Right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get one of these detectives to follow you into the bathroom right quick. Or take you to the bathroom right quick. You wanna take him to the bathroom right quick?
Not yet. Not yet. Man, if you can hold on just a little bit longer. Yeah.
Did you want to continue to talk to him a little bit? You know some stuff?
No, we'll talk this real quick.
All right. I'm gonna hold on your phone right there. We don't allow anybody to use their phones in here. Okay.
As he sits idly with a coffee and a full bladder, he thinks that he's made his case solid. He's admitted to wrestling, shaking, and even tossing her on the bed, but he hasn't been accused of killing her, as of yet. So now there's two possibilities here. He has either killed her and he's trying to hide the fact, or he was so drunk that he doesn't remember physically abusing her. The latter makes sense because he thinks that she filed the complaint of assault, and that's why he's here. Perhaps he never looked back at his victim and he never realized the moment she stopped breathing. Right now, it's his fuzzy memory against the ton of evidence that says otherwise. So from this point on, Detective Pratchett will take over as bad cop and bring out the inconsistencies in his story, forcing him to confront a reality that he's desperately avoiding.
Right.
That's why there's two of us. We can't stuff each one of those in this. I know we touched about what happened last night, but set it up for me. Lead it up to me a little bit here. Why did you guys break up exactly? Why?
Yeah. Well, we are not from the same area.
Right.
And she wants me to New York, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing yet, but I'd like to move to San Francisco. And so we've been talking about this. She found a text message in my phone from another girl, and then we broke up because of that. Kind of sort of ongoing type deal.
Because it's funny that you mentioned putting your hands around her neck and holding her back that way. Is there another reason why you two broke up? Any arguments? Any past physical violence? Okay, because keep in mind, before we talk to you, we've talked to other people too.
No, I understand.
Okay.
I mean, that night that she found the text messages on my phone, I was I don't know. That night I was more drunk than I've probably ever been.
Right.
And she did the same thing, sort of yelling at me and hitting me while I'm drunk. And I actually laid on her and held her, detained her kind of. And she ended up leaving, but that happened that night.
How did you detain her?
I mean, sort of that night I was.
Did you let go of her yourself, or did other people have to come and get you off of her?
I'm not. I really don't remember that night at all.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
So maybe because you maybe smothered her a little bit that night, maybe you choked her a little bit.
No, I don't think I choked her. She never said I choked her. She said I laid on her and held her.
Right.
And
how did you lay down on her?
She said I literally laid on her.
Was she face down and you laid on top of her, or?
I don't even know. We we've hung out since that night a bunch of times. Actually probably a dozen times since that night.
Right.
And we haven't really talked about that. But since that night, she's never said that I was choking her or anything. She said I literally laid on her and didn't let her.
She's about 105, 110 pounds soaking wet. You're almost double her size.
Yeah, probably.
You don't think that would maybe be enough to take the breath out of her if you're laying down on top of her?
I mean, I never thought about it like that, but I never hurt her.
Right. Well, we never mentioned anything to her, to her face, and you constantly bringing up that you didn't punch her in the face.
No,
We never even asked you that question.
I know. I mean,
Did you maybe at least smack her, hey, snap out of it or something like that?
No.
What's wrong with you?
I did not. No,
Nothing like that?
I never. No. I mean, I'm in here for assault charges.
Right.
That's why.
No, I never told you were.
Yeah,
We had any warrants on you.
Right.
I know, but
So you're
someone
being
said we're
detained
here
right now,
for an
okay?
assault investigation.
Right.
That's why I'm.
Have you ever threatened any harm to her?
No.
Why'd you take her computer?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe because there's evidence on the computer, emails that you sent.
No, there's no. I mean, you can read all the emails and
Right.
everything back and forth. Like,
There's no threats. There's not going to be anything on that computer that we're going to bring up
No.
forensically that
no,
came from George saying, hey, you know what? I
no,
found out that you're cheating on me.
no,
Nothing like that.
nothing.
Why'd you take that computer then?
I no. I mean, you can look at my computer, the same emails that are on my computer on her computer. And emails are on the internet. Like, it's not like her email account is erased because I took her computer. I have no idea why I took her computer. Probably because she was like not talking to me and not like, like she like did all this stuff, and I just walked out of there with the computer.
Why would this little girl just for no reason start attacking you out of the blue?
You can ask my friends that with the night that the other night.
Yeah, the other night.
You can. I wish there. I have 3 eyewitnesses for that one.
Right.
She walked in and started punching me in the face, hit me with her purse, hit me with her cell phone, and literally when I stood up and backed away, it was like to the other. I was like, "You have to stop! Like, get away from me! Get away from me!" She kept coming back for more.
Okay. Okay. No violence, right? Nothing.
No, sir. I'm not lying. Like, you can read all the emails. You can look at everything.
Why in the heck would you break down her door? Locked door means don't come in.
Talk to her, and I've said her.
No, that's more than that, man. That's rage. The way that door was kicked in, that was pure rage. You must have been seriously mad.
No.
You've told us everything else.
I've
You're
told you
seriously
everything.
mad.
I've told you guys everything. I'm not hiding anything.
Right.
I've told you literally everything.
But why kick it in? That's just pure rage.
I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to talk to her.
Have you always been that way with her as far as if she didn't want to do something, it was kind of your way of the highway type of thing?
No.
No?
And I understand that you had a lot of alcohol in you last night. Okay.
I mean,
and do you think that could have maybe led into why you were fed your emotions to kick in that door?
That may have made me rationalize kicking in the door to open it up, but it was all strictly to go in there and talk to her. I wanted to talk to her. I told her that. I sent her emails. You can see all the emails. You can see everything. I said, we need to talk about this.
Okay.
I've said I think 3 emails. Like, I want to come talk to you when you'll say fuck yourself, and I should not have gone over there when I was drinking, but that when I was that's made me emotional, so I wanted to go talk to her. That's why I kicked in the door. That's why I was trying to talk. That's why I wanted to talk to her.
Now, I know you mentioned you fell on her a week ago, right, when you were laying down.
No, that was
a month ago.
A month.
When you detained her, right? Did you detain her last night at all?
No.
Did you fall down on top of her? Wrestle on the ground?
We were wrestling on the ground for a little bit.
You don't wrestle on the bed at all?
No, I never never I shook her.
No, I mean just kind of hold her down until she calmed down on the bed.
No, if anything that would. If anything that would have been on the floor, but
because I'm sure you didn't want to hurt her. That way, if you were restraining her on the bed, she wouldn't be able to hurt herself as much.
I never was laying on her in the bed. When we were on the floor, when her nose started bleeding, we were wrestling around, and that's when her nose started bleeding.
Was it pretty noisy when you all were wrestling around?
No, I mean.
Was she screaming?
No, she wasn't. No. She was not screaming, actually.
I mean, if I'm cracking my head in the wall, I'm going to be saying, "Ow."
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, She was not screaming.
Yeah.
She should have been. Probably. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Why do you think she should?
I don't know. I mean, well, she was screaming when I first came into the room. She was like, "No, I'm not talking to you. Get the fuck out of here," and all that. But that was it.
When at any point before you said you and this was your words, you said you tossed her on the bed and then you left.
All right, since he's not telling the truth, let us. According to Anna Lehman, a resident of the apartment directly below Love's, she heard a, quote, very, very loud sound from above at about 11:50 p.m. Moments later, Lehman heard footsteps descending the stairs of the apartment building and then observed a man walk away outside. She later identified that man to be, of course, Huguely. It's pretty clear now that he is full of lies and that he is hell-bent on sticking to his crazy mix story. Now, let's watch how crazy he gets as he's confronted with the truth.
I have to tell you something.
Well, I think I know why you took the computer.
Why do you say?
Is that right?
Yeah.
She's dead.
Despite the inconsistencies, he is still sticking to his cock and bull story. So there's no point but to intensify the situation by making him realize what's exactly going on. Up until this exact point, he thought he was in here for assault charges. In fact, he should have picked up on this when Detective Reeves asked why he didn't call 911. He should have asked why he had to call 911 in the first place. But he just blanked out on that and kept defending his story. In these last 15 minutes of the interrogation, you are about to witness a total meltdown, like a kid who didn't get his way and just can't handle it anymore.
I never did anything that could do that to her.
Well, let's calm
I
down.
never did anything that could do that to her. I swear to God, I never did anything that could do that to her. I never. No, I refuse to believe that she's dead because there's no way that anything that happened last night could kill her.
Okay. All right. Just out of protocol, what we gotta do is stand up for me. Put your hands behind your back for me. Turn.
Relax.
Relax. You'll be all right.
Tell me she's not dead. Tell me she's not dead, though, please. Will you tell me she's not dead?
Relax.
Please, will you tell me
You know what? I wish I could tell you that, George. 22-year-old. 22. And her life is done.
Oh my God. Kill me. She can't be dead. She can't be dead. She's not. I cannot do anything like that. I did not do anything that could have killed her.
You do realize you're under arrest.
I realize that.
All right, we're going to consult the Commonwealth attorney on the proper charge, but it's going to be related to her death. Make sure you understand.
She's dead.
Okay.
She's how? There's no way. Oh my God! There's no way she could be dead. There's no way. Oh my God. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I don't believe that. It's true. I mean,
we just help us understand what happened last night, George. Start over from the beginning, bud.
I'm not lying to you. Everything I said to you was so true. I've not lied to you about anything.
And she had a t-shirt on.
Yeah. I'm most confident. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Okay. Was her t-shirt not on when
we're not going to tell you. We're not going to speak about it like that.
We're lying.
Help us understand what happened last night, George. Go through it again.
I told you everything. I told you everything. I don't even believe it yet. I do not believe it. I do not believe it. I don't believe it.
Okay.
All right. Just a second.
There's no way. There's no way, sir. Sir, there's no way she's dead. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. It's true. How would it have? There's no. There's no way. There's no way she could be dead.
Why do you think you're sitting here in handcuffs?
maybe for what you guys said were assault charges.
She's dead. I'm not lying to you.
You would have said murder charges if you were lying. If you were honest with me, you would have said murder charges.
She was assaulted.
You would have said murder charges. You said I would have murdered her. You would have said I murdered. Did she die this morning? Afterwards?
I can't tell you when.
I know, but I listen. I didn't murder. I didn't. I know she's not dead. 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 There's no way she's dead.
Calm down, George.
There's no way she's dead. There's no way. There can't be any way she's dead. There can't be any way that she's dead. Sir, I'm telling you, there's no way she's dead. You have to be lying to me. Tell me you're lying to me. Tell me you're lying to me. How is she dead?
I'm not lying to you.
How is she dead? How? What did she die from?
We're gonna find that out.
What did she die from?
We're gonna find out. I can't make that determination.
Sir.
Either the head trauma or asphyxiation.
There was no asphyxiation.
Okay.
God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
And I know you've told me the truth, but I think there may be some parts you're leaving out.
I'm not sure. I'm not.
How did she get all that head trauma?
From banging.
I don't believe that. I don't believe she banged her own head in the wall, man.
When we were wrestling, I don't believe she's dead. I don't believe she's dead. I don't believe it. There's no way she's dead. There's no way she's dead. There's no way. She has to be alive. She has to be. There's no way. She wasn't. There's no way. There's no way. The last time I saw her, she was not dead. She was not dead. There's never.
What was she doing the last time you saw her?
She was like standing up with me. She was standing up with me, looking at me.
Was she standing or holding? You were holding her.
Standing up, looking at me.
Okay.
I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Sir, I don't believe it. Sir, please tell me you're fine.
I'm not lying. She's dead.
Sir, how is she dead? How?
That's what I want you to clarify.
How?
You know how.
How? No, I didn't know. No, I didn't know.
Why didn't you know?
Well, she's not dead. She's not dead. She's not dead. I know she's not dead. I know. This is sorry.
I know it got out of control last night, George.
She's not dead. She's not dead. I know she's not dead. I know 100,000,000% she's not dead. I did. You cannot be dead. You're not lying to me either, are you? You're not lying. She's dead?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know it got out of hand, George.
No, it didn't. It did not. It didn't.
And what happened?
I didn't kill her. I did not kill her. I did not. I did not kill her.
Did you maybe smack her head one time too hard?
I never hit. No. I mean,
And then lay her-
maybe on the ground. No.
Did you smack her head, maybe lay her on the bed so she could kind of relax?
No.
Well, you didn't punch her because, you know, I don't think you would have done that.
No. No. I still do not believe it. So, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You just came in and said you were filing an assault charge, which makes sense, but that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense.
She was assaulted and she died.
No way.
And you were there. This happened when you were there. Now's the time to man up, George. Tell me what happened.
I told you what happened.
What happened to get?
I told you what happened.
How did it get out of control?
It didn't. I told you what happened. It didn't get out of control. She's not dead. There's no way she's dead. There's no way. I didn't do it. No way. No way.
15 minutes, and he still thought he was bluffing. Maybe he really did have a drunken rage episode, which oftentimes people don't remember. But of course, we're not here to sugarcoat the reality. He killed her because he thought that she was cheating on him. In the end, what killed Love was a spoiled brat who was drunk on power and wouldn't take no for an answer. On August 30th, 2012, Huguely was formally sentenced to 23 years in prison by Judge Edward Hogshire, with sentences of 23 years for the second-degree murder conviction and 1 year for the grand larceny conviction to run concurrently. Normally, this should have been a life sentence, but when the jury saw the interrogation that you did, they were convinced that Love's murder was not premeditated. This supports our second theory that he was so drunk that night that he thought he had just physically abused her and left. He never looked back to see how deep the wounds were and how they led to the early demise of a 22-year-old girl. Huguely's release date is set for June 17, 2030, at which time he will be 42 years old. Now, if you think this case was horrific, you need to check out my video on the evil serial killer hitchhiker who made the detectives cringe.